Here we're doing the brake line on a 2000 Honda Civic 1.6 liter. 1.8. There's a 1.8 liter with the VTEC. This bad boy, this brake line. The whole brake line we're going to do passenger, rear passenger. Alright, let's get at it. I'll show you how to do that. So what you want to do is you want to loosen it off the proportional valve, which is here located on the firewall, as you can see here. The rear passenger is the one that John is loosening right now. The rear passenger. And I was incorrect on the motor for this vehicle. It is the what, John?
1.8 liter Type R.
The Type R. What year?
Of the motor?
Yeah.
Be a 99.
But I don't think that will matter because the brake lines come with the year of the vehicle, the body. So
that's right.
The body of the vehicle is a 2000?
2000 Civic hatchback.
Civic hatchback. You want to avoid removing the gas tank. We're going to show you how to bypass doing that because the brake line you get is in one piece. And it's already got the pre-bends in it. There is a heat shield in the back that you're going to want to take 110 millimeter out. And you can just push it down to get the brake line in and bypass that. We'll show you that in a second. But you do not want to take the gas tank off. You're going to just whole world of hurt doing that. Alright, first thing you want to do is when you bring it down underneath the whole car, one length, first you want to put it in by the first fitting by your brake line. And when you get over there, I'll show you one second. Okay, there's where it goes in. But what you want to do is don't attach it to anything underneath the car, and then do your bends and your manipulation to get, because it's not going to come perfect because it's been shipping. Do your bends so you can try to line that up straight, and you can feel it as you're turning just with your fingers. You do your bends and pull it back and pull it forward until it goes, because it needs to go in straight. If it's not in straight, you're fucked. So, and then what you do that first, and then you work your way back down in underneath. I'll show you in a second. There's two brackets that come right from after that drum. Try to reuse them because they're going to keep the brake line away from your body and other moving parts that cause friction. So John's going to tighten that down now, and they're 10 mil. Use your PB blaster when taking them out. You okay? But yeah, you want to get that one in, and there's two of them, and they pretty much show where they go by themselves because they're both two different brackets. You'll figure it out. Spend a minute and look at it. So then after that bracket, it comes in down by the gas tank. We chose not to go where it normally goes because then you'll have to drop the strap, or then also try to feed the brake line that way. And there's just too many bends we wanted to concern ourselves, because if you fold the brake line, it's done for. You can't fold the brake line. You can manipulate and bend it, but you just can't fold them. So it comes past the gas tank here and then runs all the way down the car. So you just leave it here. First you do where the drum is, then you go where the brackets are. This is the toughest section, so I would suggest you start from the rear of the car and then move forward. So we have the brake line now attached to the holding brackets for the gas tank, and we used air hose that I had left over to wrap around the brake line wherever we're securing it, just so there's when there's vibration, it doesn't cut the brake line. A little over excessive, but hey, it's sitting around. So now we're from where John is, we're going to go to the front. We're going to then put it near the proportional valve. John's just back here where the elbows are to make sure the brake line doesn't fold. That's pretty much what he's doing there, and I'm going to try to get it up towards the proportional valve. Alright. Well, we're obviously not going to get it through where the H-frame is. The H-frame is the whole bracket that holds your motor up into the car. That's where your brake line originally rests. Obviously we can't do that because we dropped that H-frame, the motor, so we're not doing that. So we're going to get it generally in the area. And then up into where the proportional valve is. So I'm thinking you can probably feed it up near where your O2 is by the catalytic. You can feed it up there Let me look over here. No, that's not a good idea to go closer over here. There's too many moving parts. So yeah, you want to stay near the side where the exhaust is, where your O2 sensor is, after the catalytic, and feed that brake line up to the proportional valve. Keep the bag that it comes with on the brake line, just to keep debris out of it. It helps. Don't take the bags off until you're ready to twist the nut onto where it's going. All right, John, that's really, it's up there where the proportional valve is. So this is all extra. So right, so because we took kind of a shortcut, yeah, you kind of manipulate it up near there. You want to just walk it back, adding those hoses we made from the air hose, and then also put, like we discussed, the air hose on a couple of the other lines that are there. Like there's 4 lines, so you want to stagger the air lines. What you really want is you want separation on the 4 lines and the gas line here. You don't want them tie wrapped or clamped together, because they'll create vibration, and that's a bad idea. So you kind of want separation. But here in Canada, we want separation as well as where no salt gets in there, because that's the whole reason why we're doing this in the first place. Goddamn Canada. Brake lines. Man, that's all it is brake lines when the cars are getting 10 years old. Yeah, keep going there. I'm going to want this to kind of walk. Okay, hold on. Time out. I want to move the camera.
If that's up by the proportional valve, you should get that screwed in.
Yeah, oh shit, we have extra slack though, right? Because we took a shortcut.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of worried about that. So maybe yeah, I should tighten that on there. Okay, hold on. Okay, so what's going to happen now is because, oh sorry, the light's in the way. Because of we took the kind of the shortcut near the gas tank, you're going to have like 5 or 6 inches left or extra. So what you want to do now is kind of go back up top, get to the proportional valve, and attach that brake line. See with the bag still on it? I got her up there nice, right by the exhaust and the O2 center. So she goes up in here into that spot there. So you want to now, let me, hold on. Okay, so I can see the bag is here. John, you told me a 10 mil brake line wrench. Throw it down near my feet there. You want to take the bag off now. I could have pre-staged this a little better. You just need to rip this bag off. Yeah, knife with tape on it. Yep. Yeah, throw it. I'll get it. Thank you, sir. You always say thank you to the shop monkeys, because they won't throw you the tools you need. Right, Johnny?
Yep.
Alright, so move the bag now. And alright, I didn't need a lot. There we go. So now what you want to do, when you have that 10 mil, you gotta find the happy medium. See how it's a little tall here? It's not facing straight down into the, right here is the perpendicular is what you want. So bring it back down or out of the way. Give her a little push with the thumb. But when you push it, put your finger where the bend is and then push it down. Because you want to keep cognizant of, you're not going to fold the line. If you fold the line, then you got to start all over. I'm going to say you got to get this straight. If you don't get her straight, you are going to regret it. We're having a little bit of a problem, a little bit of a trouble. We'll get it though. It's got to be bent just the right way. Don't fold it, just take your time. So yeah, what we figured out was underneath, because of the bends of transportation here, there was one in the way on the cross member for the control arm. So once we move that, you can get it, but you got to take your time. Like I said, it's steel going into aluminum. You want to take your time. you cross-thread that, here's your pooch, and you don't want to do that. And once you get in there, just keep time, you know, go, do finger tight, and then you'll feel the resistance. If it's going, then back out, but you'll get it. I don't know if you guys can see this, but what I'm doing is I get some airline, cut it down the center, down the side, just so where the contact is. It's overzealous, but whatever. I mean, it's gonna, we're creating new paths, right? You want to go near the wishbone, you don't want to go near the control arms or the exhaust. There is a different bend here, which we're going to have to change. I'm not going to be able to get around that K member, or the H member. So, hold on, John. This is going to have to go, unfortunately, it's a unibody, right? So see this member here? Yeah. We're gonna have to cross it. So just remember when you're underneath or jacking the car up, that's sitting there.
Yeah.
That's all. Because I have nowhere other to go. Do small bends. Yeah, like that. And then up. There, that's in there. Can you put that in there like that?
What's that?
Is that good? I leave that like that?
I think so.
I don't know if you can see this. I got it in the clamp here. There's the H member. That's the problem because it's sitting right against it, so I'll fix that. John's gonna follow it all the way down. And we're going to do the airline hose sporadic all along these other derelict lines that we hope don't break. That's pretty much how you install the brake line for the 2000 Civic hatchback.
Pain in the ass.
Okay, a little outwinded, but yeah. We got the fitting in there. Take your time, it'll go. And we got it wrapped up underneath, proper where it's supposed to go. Remember, you're not going to go where the old brake line was because it goes the H member that holds the motor in. It looks like an H if you actually take it out, but the brake line comes where that H member attaches to the frame on this section. The brake line actually comes in near it, like right through it, because the brake lines are already in your vehicle, and then they put the motor in. So you can't actually put the old, like the new brake line in where it's going, so you kind of go to the side. So you gain a little inches, so you gotta be cognizant near the end. But once you got it in, now you're doing the bleed. Because it's a broken airline, or broken, excuse me, brake line, you should bleed all tires. So use your PB blaster on all the bleeders. I recommend it, or WD-40, but let it soak. Let it soak. And you want to start on the passenger rear, and then go to the driver rear, and then passenger front, and then driver front. The way I do this is the way I was taught. There's a lot of misconception with the comments. You can say whatever you want. The way I was taught is you start the furthest away from the proportional valve, and the proportional valve is right there. Start that rear tire, then the other rear tire, to get the air out there, and then there, and then here. And what I do, I go back to the rear, the furthest rear, and then go to the other rear and do a little bleed. If there's no air, you're good. That's what I would do. First, you start gravity feed. Well, we're going to get into that in a second. What you do is you open up the bleeds. You open up the bleeds, and then watch the fluid go in until it starts dribbling it out on the tires, and close the bleeders, and then you can start do your proper bleed. So do a gravity bleed first, and then do the proper bleed. So they're 8mm. for the bleeders on the rear so far. And what we want to do is just open it a little bit and let the gravity bleed. You got that, John? You have to flip it around to tighten it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna flip it for you. So tighten it here. Grab that.
Yep.
Maybe open it a little bit more, and you go to the front to make sure we don't run the master cylinder dry.